My name is Connor, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create and manage a budget in CoreStack. Let's get started. The cloud can be one of the biggest contributors in costs for modern enterprises, and so it's important to control your cloud expenses by regularly monitoring the costs incurred by different departments. CoreStack Budget Management provides flexibility and support for budget forecasting for organizations of all sizes, as well as cost centers that span multiple public cloud providers. CoreStack enables you to define budgets for various departments and control their cloud expenses to keep them within a certain budget. This feature also provides insights in real time about your budgets as cloud spending constantly changes. To get started, we need to go to the budget dashboard in CoreStack. In the left navigation menu, click on Cost. Then, select the Budget option in the drop-down list. You can view your budget rules here in the Budget Management dashboard. It includes any budget rules created to monitor and control the costs for a particular cloud account, and provides the number of budget rules configured along with the total number of alerts triggered by those budget rules. To create a new budget rule, first, click the Create Budget button. The basic budget detail screen should appear. This screen gives a graphical view of historical and forecasted spend as per the budget period, as well as a filtered scope view to help ensure there's sufficient information to analyze and make a selection for the budget amount. First, we'll complete the basic details about your budget section. Specify a name for this budget rule in the Name field. Then, select the type of budget you want to configure from the Budget Type drop-down list. Right now, the only option available is Cost, but more options are currently in development. Next, select the currency to use for this budget rule in the Budget Currency drop-down list. Specify how often the set budget amount must be checked for budget control in the Budget Reset Period field. Specify a date to start keeping track of your budget rule in the Budget Start Date field. Specify a date to stop tracking your budget rule in the Budget Expiry Date field. Check the Make This a Recurring Budget checkbox to make the budget rule a recurring event up until the expiry date. And with that, we're all done with the basic details section. Next, we'll need to complete the Budget Scope section. Multiple filters are available here to help you define the scope of your budget rule. First, select the cloud tenant, cloud providers, and cloud accounts you want to apply the budget rule to by selecting them from the tenant, cloud providers, and cloud accounts drop-down lists, respectively. Next, click the Add button. The Advanced Filters section will pop up with more settings to consider for configuring your budget scope. You can select and input any additional requirements you want to consider for your budget scope from multiple drop-down list options, including service, application, region, resource group, tags, and cost center. Then, proceed to the Budget Amount screen. Here, you can define the actual budget amount for this rule by choosing from the available options. Fixed value is the most straightforward option. Selecting this option will simply take whatever amount you enter for the budget amount and compare it against the set thresholds for monitoring and controlling. You can specify the amount in the Enter Budget Amount field. The Monthly Budget Planning Set Budget option will allow the budget amount to be split on a monthly basis while comparing it against the set thresholds for monitoring and controlling. You can again specify the amount in the Enter Budget Amount field. The Monthly Budget Planning Auto-Suggest option functions similarly to the previous one, but will enable a CoreStack to suggest and autofill the threshold limits for each month based on the budget amount and analysis of your cloud accounts. Click Save and Next. The Alert Threshold and Actions screen should appear. In the Threshold and Actions screen, threshold actions can be configured for your budget rule. You should also see a Set Budget Threshold section. In this section, perform the following actions for each threshold action. First, select from the available options to define the amount for the threshold action. The options are Actual Cost and Forecasted Cost. Actual cost is a fixed amount that can be configured and compared against the cost incurred by your cloud resources during the current budget period. Specify the percentage of your budget amount that should be considered as actual cost in the percent of budgeted amount field. The fixed amount will be calculated automatically using the percentage of budgeted amount value and will be displayed in the amount field. Forecasted cost is a forecasted amount shown in percentages that can be configured and compared against the potential costs that will be incurred at the end of the current budget period. The potential cost will be forecasted based on the actual cost that is incurred so far by your cloud resources. Specify the percentage of your budget amount that must be considered as forecasted cost in the percent of budgeted amount field. Next, in the Set Budget Notifications section, you can configure notifications for your threshold actions by performing the following steps. First, specify a name for the notification settings in the Notification Settings name field. Next, enter the email addresses which will be notified when the budget exceeds a threshold in the Email Notifications field. Click Add to include the specified email addresses in the notification settings. Select from the available options in the Other Notifications drop-down list to include additional notification mechanisms, if desired. Click Add to include any additional notification mechanisms in the notification settings. Configure the settings for the selected Other Notifications as needed. The configurations available depends on which options you select. Click the Save as Template button if you like to save and reuse these notification settings later. Click the plus notification button to configure additional notification settings for a threshold action. Next, in the Set Budget Actions section, budget actions can be configured for your threshold actions. First, specify a name for the budget action in the Budget Action name field. Next, open the Action Type drop-down list and select any actions that must be performed on cloud resources to keep costs within the set budget when a certain threshold limit is reached. Additional fields will be displayed based on the action type selected. Configure the required details in the additional fields specific to the selected action. Select Yes or No to specify if the action should be performed automatically. Next, we'll configure the notification settings required for the action. The progress and status of the action will be notified using these settings. The options are Use existing notification settings, Use different notification settings, and None. For Use existing notification settings, the notification settings already configured for the threshold action will be used. For Use different notification settings, new notification settings can be configured and then used for the budget action. For None, as you can probably assume, no notifications will be sent. Click the plus budget action button to configure any additional budget actions for the threshold action. Click the plus new alert button to configure any additional threshold actions for this rule. Multiple threshold actions can be configured for a budget rule with different threshold, notification, and budget action settings. A maximum of 5 threshold actions can be configured for a budget rule. Click Save and Next. The review screen should appear. Click the edit icon to modify any details if you need to. And finally, click Submit Budget. A new budget rule will now be created and listed in the Budget Management dashboard. CoreStack will start monitoring and controlling your cloud costs as configured in the budget rule, and its related insights can be viewed as well from the Budget Management dashboard. If you want to go back and edit any of your budget rules, go to the Budget Management dashboard and select the edit icon next to any of the budget rules listed. Here, you can modify any of the rules previously explained in this video, then click Submit Budget to save your changes. And if you ever want to delete a budget rule, you can do that from the Budget Management dashboard as well. Simply click the Delete icon next to any of the listed budget rules, then click Confirm in the pop-up dialog box that appears. After this, your budget rule will be deleted. And that's it. Now you know how to create, edit, and delete a budget rule in CoreStack. We hope this product tour was helpful and informative. For more information, check out our documentation portal at docs.corestack.io, or reach out to us directly and we'll give you the support you need. And most of all, thank you for choosing CoreStack. Until next time.